Hey guys, welcome to the Startup Life. So we're back with another code challenge from HackerRank. We're going to do the plus minus problem. So you're given an array of integers and they are asking you to calculate the fractions of its elements that are positive, negative, and are zeros. So you're going to basically loop through the array and you're going to count which of these elements are positive, which of these elements are negative, and which are zero. And then you're going to basically set up a variable counting all of those things. So positive, negative, and zero are what we're searching for in the array, and we're going to add, a point to each of those variables. And then they want the answer in the end to be in a decimal format, and so the way they want us to do it is that we're going to have the length of the array and we're going to basically fraction it out. So if there's two positive numbers, then and the array's length is 5, then it's going to be 2 over 5. If there's one 0 in the array, then with the length of an array that's 5, then it's going to be 1 over 5, and then it's going to return a decimal. And we're going to try and have that decimal to the 6th place, fixed to the 6th decimal place. But there's a margin of error they have, but that's basically what we're doing. And so I think with that information, and the last most important thing, they want us to print the following 3 lines. So they want us to print it on 3 lines. So they want the answers to be printed, and that's very important to read and understand, because I was trying to return values and it wasn't working, and then I had a aha moment that I had to console log it. And so when that came to when I realized that, guess what, it finally passed the test. So let's get into the problem. I'm actually going to use my REPL to do this. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is define the length. So var n is equal to r I dot length. And we're gonna say a var. Maybe we could just put it as length. And then we're gonna have positive is equal to 0, right? Then we're gonna have var negative is equal to 0. And then we're also going to have var 0 equal to 0. All right. So that's basically what we're going to start off with. And then we're going to, just like how we've been incrementing, we're going to add up to those values later on. So through our for loop. So for the for loop is going to be searching through the array. So we're going to say var I equals 0. I is less than n because n is our array length. And I plus plus, right? So we're going through each element in the array. Now this is where we do our if else statement. So we're going to be saying if, let's say if r at the value of the array at this position is, let's say, a positive number, that means it's greater than 0. So if you have a positive number, which is greater than 0, then we're going to positive we're just going to increment add 1 to that value, positive, that we defined up here. Else if r I, so that the array element at that position is less than 0, so it's a negative number. Again, negative, we're going to add a point to as such. And then finally, we're gonna have an else statement, an ending else statement, because then if it's not positive, if it's not negative, that means it must be 0. Else 0 is what it's going to return. So I hope that part makes sense. If the element at this index is greater than 0, therefore it's positive, we're going to add a point to positive. Else if the element at this set index in the array is less than 0, which means it's negative, we're going to add a point to negative. Else, otherwise, if it's not positive or negative, it must be 0. So then we'll add a point to 0. And then from there, and now we're going to go to outside of this for loop, right? And we're going to create, remember we have to do it in decimal or fraction. So var, let's create another variable called pos, which is equal to positive over n. So the value of what now is positive over n, because n is the length of our array. And that's how we're going to make the fraction, as well as now following, of course, pos neg is negative over n. And then 0. Var 0 equal to 0 over n. So that's going to give us a fraction value. And then when we return it, console log it. That's how we're going to print it out to the terminal. We're going to go, in order to print it as a decimal, because this is going to be as a fraction, but to be as a decimal, what I did is pause dot, and I used one of the fixed in type of elements or yeah. So since we have to do it as a decimal to the 6th place, I use toFixed, which is built into JavaScript in a sense as a function. So it automatically turns it into a decimal that goes to the 6th place. So that's what I do. And to make sure that it goes to a new line, I add and I do like the new line break, which is a black forward slash and an n. Neg dot toFixed plus zero there dot toFixed. I got that 6. And this should console, let's see. Yep, and that's what it does. So you see that it printed out to the screen 0.5000, 0.333, 0.16667. And if we go back to the problem, that's what I had here. As you guys can see, I have it written out exactly the same way, and it's returning that. And when I run the code, it has the expected output. So that's how I solved it. And I mean, there might be like some missing commas here, but I don't think they matter, that I had in my other HackerRank profile. But again, you'll still get the same answer. So like as always, please like, comment, subscribe, and give me some ideas for next time. Bye.